Good evening and welcome in once again to Coliseo Marcelo Trujillo Panisse for tonight's Baloncesto Superior Nacional contest between Mets de Guaynabo and your Grises de Humacao. Alongside my partner Victor Mansoure, I'm Craig Feda, and Victor, Humacao has lost 5 in a row since beating Fajardo on May 9th. This appears to be a team struggling to find its identity after a good start.
Good evening, Craig, and good evening, La Fanaticada de los Grises de Humacao. It's great to be back here from La H on this very important game at home. Yes, Humacao is sitting, Greg, at a tough 5-9 right now, so they do need to keep adding wins, okay? Especially on this home stretch. They also have 2 games to make up for because they had that bacterial infection situation early in the season. And they also have another game versus the Piratas de Quebradillas that the league is still to issue a result. We know Humacao can come out of this slump, especially playing at home, being the aggressor, but definitely something that they should look on to walk out of here tonight with the win.
Humacao has a couple of opportunities the next 2 nights. You mentioned the team having several games postponed due to most of the team being knocked out by a bacterial infection. One of those games has been rescheduled for tomorrow night against Santurce. That'll take place right here at Coliseo Marcelo Trujillo Panisse, and we will bring that game to you tomorrow night. But to say this has been an unusual season for Humacao is a little bit of an understatement. You talked again about the game against Quebradillas 1 week ago, in which there were 5 power outages in that game, and then Quebradillas walked off the floor with time still on the clock in overtime. BSN has not yet determined the result of that game, as you mentioned. So to say this has been a strange last few weeks for Humacao is a little bit of an understatement. And Victor, talk about that if you can from both the perspective of a player and coach. How does that mess up your rhythm, your approach to games, and your whole overall mentality?
Yeah, it does have an effect at first, Greg. You know, you plan things out, you have a schedule, you have practice sessions and loads based on the schedule that you have at hand. Then all of a sudden you get something that's completely out of control, you know, and can affect your routine, the way that you are going in preparation for these games. So we know that Humacao is a team that can come out of this situation. You know, they do have a very well-balanced roster. We have seen a little bit of an in-and-out rotation lately, but something that they can definitely work on. So let's see if they can come out being the aggressors tonight and, you know, playing with the high pace and shooting the threes. So the question is, after these couple of shaky weeks and the lineup rotation, can Pedro Gonzalez's team be consistent for 40 minutes?
On the bright side for Humacao, they've got outstanding play from the Section B Reserve All-Star, Gabby Bilardo. Also playing very well, returning from the injury, is Jordan Swing. And Timash Parker Rivera playing outstanding as well. Daniel Amigo coming on. So this is a team that definitely has some pieces in place. And in fact, they've already got more wins than they had all of last year. And at one point, Grises, they were 5-4. They were above 500. So it's not like they don't have the capability of going on a pretty good run here, getting back to 500 and climbing their way up in Section B.
Yeah, absolutely, Greg. It is one of those stretches in the season that's going to define which way they grow. Do they make it or break it? You are standing at a 5-9 right now, and absolutely, you know, you got a couple of home games coming up. Starting with tonight, another one to make up game tomorrow. You know, you definitely want to focus on those. Hopefully, in our understanding, the league will also come out with a position and a statement that game against Quebradillas could be a win for Humacao too, and then you start climbing the ladder there step by step. You know, so because if you don't get the wins now at this home stretch, then they can really pile up, and you know, and then you're fighting uphill throughout the rest of the season. And it's not going to be an easy one, Craig. They are playing against Guaynabo, a team that, direct head-to-head with them. They are standing at 7-10, Guaynabo is. And even they have a lot of strong, explosive scoring. They have good veteran play. So this will be a tough matchup because Coach Brad Greenberg and his squad will definitely look to put the pressure on tonight.
Yeah, you mentioned Brad Greenberg, and you want to talk about an impressive coaching resume. That's somebody who has been all over the world and has had a lot of success wherever he has gone. He, of course, being American, he's got a lot of players with American background and experience on his roster, but perhaps the most experienced and well-known player is number 32 for Guaynabo. That's Ronaldo Balkman. We saw him recently playing for Real Esteli in the BCL Americas playoffs, but Balkman has signed with Mets de Guaynabo, and he's averaging 12.2 points per game over 15 games. So the venerable old man at age 37 does not appear to have slowed down.
Yeah, he's not. He's not going to slow down. You can see that he does have, he's clocking in the number, he's putting in the mileage, and the ability to score. So you look at Balkman, as a guy that is just credible to be able to someone to build your franchise around. He's been very successful on this league. And then you add to that, sharp shooters like Kyle Vinales, and you also have the force down low and the skill set of Ben Moore. So like you mentioned, the veteran play of Balkman and also Tyreek Roland. So you add those guys into the mix. It really, and with the legendary franchise, the weight of the shirt of Guaynabo Mets, this puts together with good coaching for a tough matchup to be played tonight. So let's see if Humacao can absorb that impact, beat the aggressors, and really hopefully come out with the win.
Let's take a look at the starters for tonight's game. For Grises, Georgie Pacheco-Ortiz, Jordan Swing, Gabriel Bilardo, Daniel Amigo, and the newcomer just signed, Kenneth Horton, a 6'6" forward. For Guaynabo, it's Kyle Vinales, Taekwon Rolon, Marcus Hunt, Ben Moore, averaging 18.3 points per game, and Ronaldo Balkman. Ball is in the air, and we are underway. Mets with the initial possession, but they lose it. And here comes Grises for their first offensive possession. Georgie Pacheco-Ortiz out near midcourt, getting it to Amigo. And now here's the all-star Gabby Bilardo. Horton gives it up. Three is up on the way, and good. Georgie Pacheco-Ortiz.
Good ball movement that time. Craig, at the 45, Pacheco, that's what he does.
And our first look at Kenneth Horton, the newcomer for Grises. Hanger in the lane, falls, and I believe that was Marcus Hunt. It was, and he will go to the free throw line. He did not play in the previous game for Guaynabo, a game in which they lost 88-80 to Fajardo just 2 days ago. Hunt averaging 19.7 points per game in 3 games with Guaynabo.
Yeah, you saw Coach Pedro Gonzalez and Jordan Swing having a conversation. Don't give the man middle. You definitely don't want to give him that option. And especially if you're going to make a foul, don't be a touch foul. Make the guy earn it at the line.
Pacheco-Ortiz finds Bilardo off the glass and in. Nice pass from Georgie Pacheco-Ortiz.
Good start here on the offensive end for Humacao.
Here come the Mets back the other way. Hanger in the lane, off the glass and good. Ben Moore scores. And he will go to the free throw line. He's an 82% free throw shooter on the season. Ben Moore from Bolingbrook, Illinois. Went to Southern Methodist University. Played in the G League, Turkey, Australia, and he had a cup of coffee with the Indiana Pacers in 2018. Completes the three-point play, and Guaynabo is up by 1.
Yeah, and it is a tough matchup, Greg. He can put the ball on the ground, got a good footwork, got the skill set. So we saw all that right there with that three-point play.
Swing, his first shot from 16 is up and in. Good to see Jordan Swing back in the, swing of things, I guess. Balkman on the drive, right side, up off the glass over Amigo. That won't go. Rebound pulled out of there by Kenneth Horton. Horton right side, gives it up to Bilardo. Bilardo baseline right side, that rings off. Rebound Vinales. Glad you can be with us wherever you're tuned in from. I'm Craig Feda alongside my partner Victor Mansoure. Grises looking to get back on the winning track. Nifty behind the back pass to Balkman, and his three-pointer is up and good.
Yeah, and that's why there's such a tough matchup. You saw they're stretching the floor, hit it to your big man. Balkman with the jab step and nothing but the bottom of the net.
Horton's three is no good. And Mets looking to extend their lead. Coming up on 7.5 minutes to play first quarter. Another hanger in the lane. Fade away by Ben Moore. This one does not go in. No foul call on that contact in the lane. Swing misses the three. I was expecting a whistle there, Victor, one way or the other.
Yeah, I thought so too. It kind of looked like he got him there, but referees are going to let them play so far.
Our officials, by the way, Senores Vasquez, Roman, and Davila. That three-pointer is up and good. Kyle Vinales, a 42% three-point shooter on the season, strokes that one, and it's a 5-point lead for Guaynabo.
Hot start here for both teams, Greg. High percentage shot. That's how we like it. We want a high-scoring game if we can.
Georgie Pacheco-Ortiz misses, and here comes Marcus Hunt back the other way. Nifty little Euro step into the lane, flips it up off the glass, and scores. And Guaynabo has doubled up Grises early.
I mean, talk about having the ability to go under control. Nice scoop there with the opposing hand on the other side of the rim. Beautiful play.
Bilardo gets it back as Amigo and Balkman tumble to the floor, take their time getting up. Nice move there by Ortiz. Shot clock at 2. High off the glass, won't go. And here comes Guaynabo back the other way. Poked out of bounds by Jordan Swing. The ball will stay with Guaynabo with 21 on the shot clock. Let's get it in. Still plenty of time. Vinales corrals the pass. Tries driving on Swing. Pulls up, puts the shot up. And here comes Humacao back the other way. Bilardo loses his footing a little bit. Gets it back. Hangs from the baseline left side. No. Amigo tried the tip-in. And here comes Guaynabo. Rolon into the paint, flips it up with the left hand and in. Taekwon Rolon gets to the bucket, throws up the prayer, and has it answered. And now it's 16-7 in favor of Guaynabo, and Pedro Gonzalez wants timeout. Humacao got off to a pretty good start, and then all of a sudden their shots weren't falling. Guaynabo has not cooled off meanwhile.
I know they have not, Greg. You know, we have seen here they coming out full force. Several guys putting points on the board, putting pressure on Humacao's defense. And Humacao, on the other hand, we saw there a shot taken by Gabriel Bilardo, and we know that he has been their heart and soul in the beginning of the season. And to his credit, also, from my understanding, he's on the All-Star roster that was just announced yesterday or 2 days ago. So great credit for him. But he has struggled a little bit as of late. Maybe, you know, guys zoning in on him, putting the scouting report on him, you know, maybe running out of the legs a little bit. So this is something where a veteran player now needs to settle down, pick his spots, hopefully be able to find a good rhythm, you know, and start seeing the ball go through the hoop so you can play with that confidence again.
And Gabby Bilardo has clearly been Humacao's most consistent player, averaging 16.9 points per game on the season. And there's been some other players who have played very well in stretches. I'm thinking of Jordan Swing, Timaj Parker Rivera. And Daniel Amigo has scored some points here and there. George Matos can fill it up from time to time. But nobody's been as consistent as Gabby Bilardo. And as you said, teams might be starting to zone in on him and make life difficult and wait for somebody else from Humacao to try to step up.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's perhaps why Coach Pedro Gonzalez does have Pacheco in the starting lineup. You know, that can be that another guard that to give Bilardo the support. And also, you know, having now Jordan Swingback also helps out, and try to play Bilardo offhand also helps out, and try to play Bilardo offhand or off the ball to see if he can be more of a scorer rather than a playmaker.
The lead is now 10 following the three-point play, 17-7. Here's Amigo left side, shot clock at 10, working his way into the paint. Swing now, and that's going to be an offensive foul on Amigo.
Offensive foul, but I'll tell you what, Greg, it seemed like the defender at that time kind of sold it a little bit. Yes, it was a hard screen, and Amigo is a big guy, but it didn't seem like it was for that much. Anyhow, the referee did see it as it was. So 10-point game. Let's see if Humacao can now start to get some stops as they've been struggling on the defensive end.
Approaching 5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Here's Rolón kicking it out. Now Ben Moore spinning and scoring. Humacao down 12. Amigo back out to Georgie Pacheco Ortiz. Amigo hits the deck again. Swing puts up the three. That's no good. Amigo takes his time getting up, and it's 5-on-4 for Guaynabo, and scoring easily is Ronaldo Balkman.
So I'm sure this is not the start that Coach Pedro Gonzalez had prepared his team for. You know, giving up 21 points in just over 5.5 minutes. This is something they got to address right away because you cannot win the game like this.
Another three, no good. And Guaynabo puts up two more, and they'll go to the line. Marcus Hunt will attempt the free throw this time. Try to complete another three-point play, and it's 23-7.
Everybody getting on the scoreboard, Craig. Guys putting numbers left and right, cutting to the middle. So what do you want to do? You want to start being a little bit more physical, okay? You want to start pushing guys outside the paint. Do your work beforehand, before he catches. You see, right there, as he picked the ball up, you don't want to allow that slasher to come through and come downhill to receive that. So start playing a little bit more physical. I know it's easier said than done. But this is something that you got to address because you've given up already 24 points in just over 5 minutes.
Hunt completes the three-point play. Humacao has not scored since the 8:53 mark. So that's coming up on 5 minutes. An 18-0 run for Guaynabo.
And it's one of those things, too, Craig. After you start taking the ball underneath your basket, you got to inbound the ball over and over again. It does take away the rhythm, right? So it's kind of like your best offense is your defense kind of thing. And they are struggling. They've given up a lot of points, and that has not allowed them to play the game at a faster pace.
So Ben Moore to the free throw line now. Grises already in the penalty. Guaynabo has not committed a foul yet in this game. Pedro Gonzalez already into his bench. Darian Spotsville on, along with Alexander Capos and Timaj Parker Rivera. All five starters still on the floor for Guaynabo.
A good move by Coach Gonzalez. You know, what you want to do is you want to give guys a chance, you know, to see if they can get some rhythm. So good job bringing a couple of guys in.
Pass inside to Capos, now back out. Three missed by Pacheco Ortiz, rebounded by Alexander Capos. Haven't seen a lot of him this season. Only his fourth game. Timaj Parker Rivera trying to feed Capos, and the pass is intercepted.
Yeah, Copples with the ability to shoot. Does have a good release for a big man. Kind of plays that 4 that can shoot the ball and stretch the floor. Let's see if he can get the stop on the defensive ends. And Coach Pedro Gonzalez here, Greg, needs to call timeout for the second time already.
Yeah, with his team down 27-7, 3:14 remaining. Humacao has used both its first half timeouts already to try to stop this bleeding.
And you're right about that. It is absolutely
a 21-0 run for Guaynabo from the 8:53 mark of this quarter.
Yeah, and it is something they got to address. You got the run going on. Guaynabo is shooting an outstanding 76% from the field right now with the 10 field goals. So how do you cut the bleeding, like you said? How do you stop this? Because obviously this is not going the right way.
As we look at some of the numbers, scoring for Grises: Georgie Pacheco Ortiz 3, Jordan Swing 2, Gabby Bilardo 2, and that's it. For Guaynabo, Marcus Hunt has 8, Ben Moore has 8, Ronaldo Balkman has 5, Taekwon Rolon has 3, Kyle Vinales has 3, and those 5 starters have been in the game from the outset for Brad Greenberg and Mets de Guaynabo.
Yeah, and plenty of time left, plenty of game. The game has really, we're even though you're down 20, it's still the first quarter. So zone in, start getting some stops. Right now, Guaynabo just been able to score left and right. Start getting some stops, rebound the ball, play in transition, and go from there.
Yeah, we saw that in the Boston-Miami series just a few days ago in that first quarter.
Absolutely. It is a game of runs, so can Humacao put one together?
And now a foul away from the ball. I believe they're going to get Marcus Hunt. And that's the first foul of the game against Guaynabo. Luis Rivera on now.
And Luis Rivera has been
6 to shoot. Nice pass from Swing into Timash Parker Rivera, and finally Humacao scores.
Yeah, and that's the reason why they put Rivera on the court. That should be a backcourt right here. Did not touch, correct. Backcourt violation, because Luis Rivera does have the ability to put up numbers, Craig. So even they're struggling, put the young man out there. He can create his own shot or find somebody open.
Humacao went 6 minutes and 6 seconds without scoring in this first quarter. 21-0 run for Guaynabo. And now a 3-pointer up on the way for Luis Rivera. No good. Rebound fought for by Timash Parker Rivera, and he draws the foul.
Great job on the glass, young man.
Rivera is instant energy.
Yes, he is. And that's how you put your team back on this game. Fight on the offensive glass and get your team a second chance points.
Parker Rivera finally gets it inbounds. And here's Spotsville now up to Swing. 10 to shoot. Swing hanging from 13, and that's good. So Grises now on a little run. Lead is cut to 16. Rolon out to Balkman, and his 3-pointer, no. Spotsville the rebound. Swing. Out to Timash Parker Rivera. He spins his way to the glass and misses. Nice move, just a little bit too strong with the shot. Meanwhile, at the other end, Mets throw it away, and it'll be Humacao ball.
So a couple of good last defensive possessions for them. There was a free turnover there, freebie, but they're starting to put a few things together, okay? So let's see if the guys are coming out from the bench. Can they maintain this or actually do even a better job than the starters so you can put yourself back in this game by the second quarter? Coming up on 90 seconds to play in this first quarter.
Rivera, scoop with the left hand. That was a pretty move by Luis Rivera off the square, and he cuts the lead down to 14.
Pretty move indeed. Put his man on his right hip, held the ball in his left hand with one hand, and a beautiful touch to scoop that off the glass.
Vinales thought about the three, instead gets it back over to Hunt. Now here's Ben Moore. Attacking, runs into Parker Rivera. Good defense by Timaj Parker Rivera. Unfortunately, the ball went right back to Ben Moore, and he put it off the glass and in.
Absolutely. Moore used that ability to that second jump. You know, after the ball went up, he went quick for it, but that was a good defensive possession.
Here's Rivera. He loses it to Ben Moore. Moore gets it back up off the square. Won't go, but he will go to the free throw line to try to get a couple that way with 34 seconds to play in this first quarter.
Unfortunate turnover there by Rivera that allowed Guaynabo to go the other way with numbers. And this young man right here, Moore, I mean, what an outstanding player he is. Very versatile. We saw him there last time score on the offensive glass, and now the ability to run the floor and with a good free throw stroke here as we see tough matchup to guard this guy.
Second free throw by Moore is up and in. And Grises, again, a slow start in the first quarter. We saw them early in the season get off to blazing starts and then go to sleep in the middle quarters. Butler has his shot blocked, and here comes Guaynabo once again. E.J. Crawford into the game for Guaynabo, as is Jeff Early. First time to the bench for Brad Greenberg. Early. Shot misses, but therefore the putback is Ben Moore. And the first quarter comes to an end with Guaynabo on top by 20, 33-13. Matches their biggest lead of the game. Humacao cut it to 14. But Guaynabo goes on a run at the end of the first quarter to stretch the lead back to 20. 33-13 in favor of Mets de Guaynabo. We are back with second quarter action in just a moment.
Se puede con un préstamo personal de la Cooperativa Oriental. Ponte al día con tus metas financieras con un cómodo pago mensual que tienes hasta 90 días para hacer el primer pago. Llama al 787-418-2021. Cooperativa de Ahorro y Crédito Oriental, la alternativa de todo un pueblo.
Welcome back to Coliseo Marcelo Trujillo Panisse. Humacao trailing after one quarter, 33-13 for Humacao. Jordan Swing has 4 points, Gabby Bilardo 2, Georgie Pacheco Ortiz 3, Luis Rivera 2, Timaj Parker Rivera also with 2 points. For Guaynabo, Ben Moore with 14 points already. Marcus Hunt has 8, Kyle Vinales 3, Taekwon Rolon 3, Ronaldo Balkman with 5. Guaynabo already outscoring Humacao in the paint to the tune of 20-10. Fast break points, 11-0 in favor of Guaynabo. As we get a look at the hard-working Timaj Parker Rivera. And a foul.
And from my understanding, the referee's taking a double foul here. He's going to call it on Butler as well on Moore. I actually thought it was just on Moore, Greg, but apparently they're going both ways. And as you pointed out, that first quarter, you know, all the stats and all the favor going in favor of Guaynabo. So definitely we got to get back to basics here. Stopping the ball, putting pressure on the wings, not allowing any kind of flow from Guaynabo, especially towards the middle, as they have shown that they can definitely score. And there was a double foul with the possession arrow staying with Guaynabo this time.
Well, you read my mind, Victor. That's exactly what I was going to say. And the quick little jump hook there, another two. This time it's Melson Basabe scoring.
Yeah, and Coach Pedro Gonzalez, he went for the zone to try to work that, you know, put pressure on Guaynabo, but they go right into the paint that time. So you got to get more physical, put ball pressure, get guys outside the lane, make them uncomfortable. Guaynabo is just too comfortable right now, Greg, and they're giving Humacao a lot of trouble.
You see Kenneth Horton, so new to the team, he doesn't even have his name on his jersey yet. Floater by Rivera won't go. Guaynabo just about turns it over. Lead is still 20. 3 on the way by E.J. Crawford. That's no good. Spotsville the rebound. Spotsville, little hesitation move. Defense rotates, and he's got to swing it back around. 3 on the way now from Luis Rivera. No. Ball skitters out of bounds, and that'll be to Guaynabo. Well, regardless of what happens here tonight, Victor, Grises are not going to be able to mourn it too long or celebrate it too long, because they've got to be right back here tomorrow night to take on Santurce in one of those makeup games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at the professional level, that's the thing that you want, right? Right away, get to the next game. So just keep pushing through the schedule, keep grinding things over and over, you know. But hopefully, there's enough time here for them to focus on tonight and try to get them back into this game. Don't play hero ball, all right? You see, Pedro Gonzalez has put his team playing that 2-3 zone. Let's see if they can get a couple of defensive possessions and play in transition, score some buckets, and then hopefully they can worry about tomorrow after this win.
Back across to Rolon. The left-hander puts up the 3. No good. Rebound fought for by Nathaniel Butler, but then tracked down by one of his compatriots. I believe that was Rivera. Now 3 on the way from Horton, and he scores his first points for Humacao. Could not have come at a better time with 8:04 to play second quarter. That gets the lead down to 17.
And as you mentioned, we have seen them come out fire blazing, so they do have the capability of putting an explosive run here. Let's see if they can go one possession at a time and do exactly that.
Another missed bucket for Guaynabo. They've already got 3 team fouls this second quarter. Now back to Horton. 5-2 run to start the second quarter, but now a turnover. 3-pointer up and good. Taekwon Rolon from the left wing. And the lead is back to 20.
Professional shooter, run the lane, get to the spot, have your feet set. Once you catch, go through your motion and knock it down.
Taekwon Rolon from Syracuse, New York, went to Lemoyne College in DeWitt. Playing in his 18th game for Guaynabo. Has played every game this season, averaging 12.9 points per contest. Horton thought about the three. This time he puts it up. Just short.
And it looks short. Yeah, it looks short when it left his hand, Greg.
Back out to Rolón. And now E.J. Crawford. Crawford, a lot of contact, no call. Basabe fighting for it underneath, gets a second and third opportunity, and now the whistle. So Basabe will go to the free throw line. He is 2 for 2 on the season.
And this is one of those possessions that you want to send a message to your team. The moment that rebound was going live, you got to have 5 guys underneath the hoop, pushing guys out to get that rebound. Show the fire, do the technique that's going to get you back on this game because there's plenty of time.
And now timeout taken by Brad Greenberg for Guaynabo. And Victor, we talked about Brad Greenberg in the open. This is a guy who has been around, well, seemingly forever. He started coaching in 1977 at American University in Washington, D.C. In the 80s, he was an assistant with the Clippers and Knicks. Got his first head coaching job at Radford University. And he was the Big South Coach of the Year in 2009. They won that league's tournament and the regular season. Israeli League Coach of the Year in 2013 when his team won the championship. And the FIBA Euro Cup champion in 2021. And he is an assistant currently with Canada, Team Canada.
Yeah, so one of those guys that you love, to have lunch with, pick his brain a little bit. The man has been a globetrotter, just a proven winner at what he does. So I'm sure that resume has a lot of weight in what he says in Guaynabo's day-to-day work. I'm glad that he's with Guaynabo and in the Puerto Rican League. He's only going to bring better things to his team and the league all around.
Greenberg's most notable achievement in the pros when he was the general manager of the Philadelphia 76ers. He drafted a player by the name of Allen Iverson in the first round.
Yeah, that turned out to be okay, didn't it?
Yeah, that was a pretty good pick. One of the all-time greats. Friend puts up his awkward one-hand jump shot and misses. And the lead is at 22. Now the nice feed inside. Friend blocks it, or Amigo blocks it. Three on the outside by Horton is short. Now here comes Crawford. Crawford. Fade away by Basabe. Falls in.
Yeah, he just recognized he had the mismatch with the height advantage. Just backed his man down and a pretty fadeaway.
Horton deep left side driving. Hits the rim on his way up and then has it blocked. But a foul was called. So Kenneth Horton will go to the free throw line. Horton had been playing in Spain. Played in Italy and Kazakhstan, France, Germany, a couple of different clubs in Germany, Finland. It's another guy who's been all over. It's an honorable mention All-American 2011.
And he needs all that experience, Greg, because he's coming in halfway through the season, so he's got to pick things up right away.
Went to Central Connecticut. Amigo the rebound. Oh, nifty little drive, but then the shot was very rudely blocked. Not a lot of action in this second quarter so far. 9-6. Make it 11-6. Guaynabo has outscored Humacao. And the lead is 25. 3 on the way. That's good. Gabby Bilardo strikes from long distance.
Bilardo's man must have not read the scouting report. He stepped in to help too much, and Bilardo made him pay.
Balkman misses the long-range shot. And here comes Humacao back the other way, just inside 4 minutes to play. Bilardo turns it over. It looked like Bilardo was a little injured after that last shot. Seems okay now. 3 on the way from Horton, no good. And Marcus Hunt loses it out of bounds, and it'll be Humacao ball.
A good job staying on defense with that baseline cutter. A lot of the times when they feed the post, you see the action right away with the man cutting baseline. Good job by Humacao staying, and that forced a turnover.
So here comes Jordan Swing. All 5 starters back on the floor now for Humacao. Amigo hit the backboard on his way up. Caught his own shot, and that's going to be a turnover. It'll be Guaynabo ball.
Yeah, just were not able to find enough angle to put that in. But okay, take the ball to the rack. That's what you want. You'd rather have a turnover there than on the top of the key.
Here comes Balkman, trying to drive on Amigo, but gets it out to Hunt. Hunt shoots it up over Timaj Parker Rivera. Shot was no good, out of bounds. It'll be Humacao ball with 2:40 to play, second quarter. Spotsville and Timaj Parker Rivera joining Pacheco, Swing, and Amigo. As Amigo gets 2.
And you see, that was created because Pacheco, Greg, was able to look away, kind of like a no-look pass, and was able to find Amigo down low. So look one way, pass to the other. That's how you do it, young man.
Vinales pulls up from 12 feet and sinks the pretty jumper there.
But Vinales says, hey, Pacheco, whatever you can do, I can do better.
Vinales has been relatively quiet this game as Amigo just about loses it. Now Pacheco Ortiz gets it back, kicks it out into the corner. 3 on the way, no good. Rebound by Hunt. Hunt working on Spotsville. Hangs and hits. So Marcus Hunt will go back to the free throw line. He's 2 for 2 from the stripe tonight. 9 of 11 on the season. Foul's going to be on Darian Spotsville. Hunt completes the 3-point play. And the lead is 26. Beg your pardon, 27. .127 to play, second quarter. As you get a look at Darian Spotsville, the 23-year-old from Eastern Michigan University. Luis Rivera comes back on. Little hesitation move, and now the dish and the dunk by Ronaldo Balkman as he poses and stares down the Humacao bench following that jam. The lead now 29. Lob inside to Timaj Parker Rivera, no shot. That was a pretty pass from Daniel Amigo inside to Timaj Parker Rivera, but the foul's going to be called on William Orozco before the shot.
Yeah, good pass indeed, Greg. And you want to applaud what Rivera was trying to do last possession. He did pick up full court, was trying to speed up the game. But then when you get into that half court, that 1/4, that's where you got to stay disciplined. He just gave the lane, and that allowed a 2-on-1 that ended with Balkman's dunk.
Free throw by Timaj Parker Rivera is short. He's a 59% free throw shooter on the season, averaging 8.8 points and 7.9 rebounds per game. Second rebound, a little too strong. Fighting for it underneath was Amigo. But another foul called. I believe that's going to be on Ronaldo Balkman, as the old man sits on the floor and gets a little additional rest.
Yeah, Balkman is probably arguing, saying that Amigo threw him down, and that's how Amigo got the possession or the position for the offensive rebound. So he was trying to make a point to the referees, hey, I don't fall down easily. Something must have happened here, but Amigo's got nothing to do with that. So let's see if he can hopefully knock these down.
Amigo, a 50% free throw shooter on the season, misses the first with 1:01 to play in this second quarter. Only 11 points scored in this second quarter by Humacao. They only scored 13 in the first. Amigo hits the second free throw. Guaynabo has scored 20 after scoring 33 in the first quarter. Into the corner, three up on the way. That is good. William Orozco scores from downtown. He was just 3 of 10 from beyond the arc coming into this game.
And then we saw there once again, a great job by Rivera picking up the full court. But then once you get into the half court, you cannot allow the man to get himself to the lane. We say a lot this in the NBA, when we can get the ball into the lane, that is a green light, because it's going to open some things for you. And that time it opened the corner shot.
Swings past a little bit too far behind Amigo. And Guaynabo.
And they do have a foul to give here, Greg.
To score. Vinales gets it over to Orozco. And he strikes again. 3 of 10 coming into this game from beyond the arc, 2 of 2. And the half-court shot, as the buzzer sounds, is no good. And the half will come to an end with Guaynabo up big. 59-25 after 2 quarters. Humacao was much better in the second quarter defensively, giving up only 23 points, but after scoring 13 in the first quarter, they only scored 12 in the second. And Victor Mansour, not a good first half for Grises. What is Pedro Gonzalez going to tell his team in the locker room at halftime?
Well, Craig, I'm sure we're going to have lots to talk about here at halftime, and we can address following our break here, because there's a lot to get fixed.
59-25 in favor of Guaynabo. We'll be back with halftime analysis in just one moment.
Ahora se puede con un préstamo personal de la Cooperativa Oriental. Ponte al día con tus metas financieras con un cómodo pago mensual que tienes hasta 90 días para hacer el primer pago. Llama al 787-418-2021. Cooperativa de Ahorro y Crédito Oriental, la alternativa de todo un pueblo.
Welcome back to Coliseo Marcelo Trujillo Panisse in beautiful Humacao. We look at some of the team numbers. Guaynabo out rebounding Humacao 25-14. More assists and more steals as well. Let's look at some of the individual numbers on this one. For Humacao, Gabby Bilardo leading the way with 5 points. Jordan Swing and the newcomer Ken Horton each with 4. Timaj Parker Rivera with 4. Georgie Pacheco Ortiz with 3. Daniel Amigo with 3. And Luis Rivera with 2. Leading rebounder, Gabby Bilardo with 4. For Guaynabo, Ben Moore, a monster first half. 18 points on 7 of 8 shooting. He was also 4 of 5 from the free throw line. Marcus Hunt has 11. Taekwon Rolon has 8. Ronaldo Balkman 9. Kyle Vinales 5. William Orozco has 6 on his 2 of 2 3-point shooting. And Melson Basabe with 2 points as well. Guaynabo outscoring Grises in the paint 32-14. 8 turnovers in the first half for Humacao has led to 18 points for Guaynabo. Fast break points 16-0 in favor of Guaynabo. And Victor Mansouri, again, if you're Pedro Gonzalez in the locker room, what are you trying to talk to your team about? What are you drawing up on the whiteboard? Or is it at this point not about, as we say, X's and O's, but Johnny's and Joe's?
Absolutely, Greg. At this time, you do want to start because, as you pointed out, there's a lot going on here. Might have been the first half that they've struggled most throughout the season. So where do you start? Where do you address the fast break points difference? Where do you address the points off from turnover difference? Where do you address the assist difference, the rebounding? Okay, so if you want to start, and it's not about the X's and O's, and it's about the fire and the ability to stay focused and disciplined within the game plan, it really is going to start on the defensive end. Okay, giving up 59 points in 20 minutes of game is not going to get it done. So definitely you want to start having ball pressure. Okay, so that way you don't allow the offensive player to have the time to think about what they're going to do. Also, you want to take away penetration. Many times we've seen Guaynabo get to the lane or get to their spots and either got fouled or able to kick it out or go up with the jump shot. If, in this case, if you do get beaten, if you do come into a situation, then you got to come quick with your rotations. Okay, stop the ball handler going to the hoop. All right, have the multiple rotations, the multiple efforts in order to start putting a little bit of pressure in Guaynabo on the offensive end. And obviously, you want to finish with the rebounds. High advantage here, 25-14 in the rebounding stats for Guaynabo. This is something that they do need to address, because if you don't get stops, you're always taking the ball underneath the hoops. You're always taking the ball as a basket. And now all of a sudden you're playing the 5-on-5 rather than playing a fast break and try to get a game into transition. So it does start with ball pressure. It does start with pressure in not allowing Guaynabo to get penetration inside the key, multiple rotations, multiple efforts, and obviously culminating with getting that rebound.
Humacao already out on the floor shooting. Victor, do you read anything into that Humacao is already on the floor warming up for the second half?
Yeah, a lot of the times, these guys, they do this in the morning, in the afternoon, and night. You got practices, you got videos, you got meetings. So there's nothing else to be said, like you're saying. It's not about the X's and O's. It is about, right now, getting it done, having that fire, having that discipline. So, hey, you know what? We're down big. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna go out and play basketball. And it's actually just sticking with the simple actions, or with the basic actions, okay, that are going to get you there. And it starts on the defensive end. Obviously, giving up 59 points is not going to get it done. So what I read here is that there's nothing to be talked about. These are all grown-up men. They do absolutely know what's supposed to be done. They just got to do better.
And this is the first time, really, that we've seen Humacao really play not well at home. This is a team that has played very well at home. They've come away with a couple of big wins, some hard-fought wins, a couple of nice comebacks as well. And this is the very first game I think we've seen at Coliseo Marcelo Trujillo Panisse where they don't seem to have much spark, and they didn't really seem to be that competitive in that first half. We know that Humacao has struggled on the road, but we have not seen that at home. Now tonight, they don't look so good at home. And I think at this point, if you're Pedro Gonzalez, really you just want to see Humacao win the second half.
Absolutely. And they have, Guaynabo has brought it to them. Guaynabo does look like the more athletic team, the team that, can win the game of speed, that can win the game of vertical. And that has put a lot of pressure in Humacao, not being able to secure the rebounds and be able to, like we said, come out with the first quarters and the first halves that we have seen them, and the potential that they do have of putting up high numbers, So, again, give some credit to Guaynabo, too. Absolutely great first half. I mean, they are shooting an outstanding 62%, 22 out of 37 from the floor. So, yes, that does have to do something that Humacao is not doing, is not playing well on the defensive end, but also, just the ability, the concentration. I mean, how good has Ben Moore been in this first half, in the 18 points and the 7 of 8 shooting? I mean, the guy's been outstanding and has created opportunity for other players too. So hopefully they can make the adjustment here and have this explosive scoring that they're capable of right off the gate in the third quarter.
Once again, Humacao will be right back at home tomorrow night to take on Cangrejeros de Santurce. One of those games that were missed as a result of the majority of Grises having a bacterial infection. So they will be playing back-to-back. And if this game holds to form and Humacao ends up losing big, playing again the next night really is more of a benefit than a detriment, don't you think? You don't have a lot of time to dwell on a bad loss. You just get right back in the gym and you go right back at your next opponent.
Absolutely. A lot of time left in this game still, so you definitely want to grind this out. But if it do come out to that, as a player, that's exactly what you wish for, okay? If you have a bad game, give me a back-to-back so I can go right away at the next day and show what I'm good at. So yes, focus here, 20 minutes to play, and especially you want to get into good habits, right? Even though you're down big in the scoreboard, you want to get into good habits. You want to stay disciplined within your strategy. And once you do that, if the outcome is not the one you wanted, hey, please just give me one night of sleep and let me play again so I can show you how good I am.
And especially for a lot of young players, which Humacao has, they've got a lot of 23, 24-year-old players. A game like this, it teaches you how to be a professional. And, they've obviously had almost half a season of professional play, and regardless of where they came from before, but this really shows what you're made of as a professional. Do you grind hard? Do you play? Do you compete in this second half? You may not come back to win, but are you going to compete? Are you going to play hard in this second half, try to win the second half, and build your momentum into the next game?
Absolutely, and you got no choice for that. Professional coaches, they don't coach for effort. Like that's got to be there. That's definitely got to be there. So if it's not, then we do have an issue. Okay, they're going to coach you on the fundamentals. They're going to coach you on the tactics. So it's something that you got to match. Okay, where's my energy? Like we saw, for example, let's give an example. We saw Luis Rivera play full court defense, man-to-man. Beautiful job trying to speed up the game. And then once it got into the half court on the technique, we allowed the man to get into the key. Okay, so the effort's there. The technique is something that can improve on. So how do you improve those? Right here, putting the minutes in, like you said. A lot of young players out there, use this as experience. Use this to get better. Use this to create good habits, and definitely send a message to yourself, to your coach, to your fans, and to the opposite team. Hey, I'm down, but I'm not dead.
Humacao started Georgie Pacheco Ortiz, Jordan Swing, Kenneth Horton, Gabby Bilardo, and Daniel Amigo. And in the second half, if I'm Pedro Gonzalez, I might consider putting in Timaj Parker Rivera and Luis Rivera in that starting lineup in place of Kenneth Horton and maybe Daniel Amigo. Go smaller, go faster, get a couple of high energy players in there and, see what develops.
100%, Greg. You need to speed up this game, okay? And you speed it up two ways. Obviously, horizontally, putting the guys that can run the court, they're able to cover more space, and also guys that can fight for the ball up top vertically. So you insert those guys into the layup, into the lineup. See if you can get a couple of, because this is going to generate extra possessions, hopefully, if you're playing at a fast pace, and then start going a little by little into this lead. But I agree with you. You might want to go a little bit of small ball here to see if you can speed up the game.
Once again, 59-25 after one half of play here at Coliseo Marcelo Trujillo Panisse. Mets de Guaynabo leading Grises de Humacao. Let's see if Humacao has any magic in this second half. We've seen them have a couple of nice comebacks this season so far at home. Let's see if they can at least make this one interesting. So Timaj Parker Rivera is on the floor to start the second half. He's replacing Kenneth Horton. So one of the two changes that we thought might be coming, Daniel Amigo still on the floor to start the second half.
And, coaches will do that, Greg. You know that these are your main guys. These are the guys that can get you over the top. So even though you're down a lot, don't beat these guys up. Give them a second chance here. See if they can get a few things going for them. And if they don't, then you do have the option of switching up the lineup.
Bilardo on the drive into the corner. Three on the way. That's good. Georgie Pacheco-Ortiz scores from the corner, and that's a nice way to start the second half. Three-pointer by Georgie. Here's Rolón with the left hand off the square, up and in. Bilardo slow to get up. Here's Pacheco-Ortiz. Out to Bilardo. His shot is blocked. Ben Moore swatted that one away, and here comes Guaynabo. Hunt into the lane, and a foul before the shot.
You see, but what happened there, Greg, is that Jordan's swing was actually probably about a yard or two inside the arc, and that allowed the offensive player to get some momentum and go into the bump. So you see there, you want to start ball pressuring outside the three-point arc. That way, when the man is going down the middle, you're going with him rather than meeting him and be called for the bump.
Layup won't go. Rebound, Timaj Parker-Rivera. Georgie. Now Jordan swing. His floater. He wanted the foul, no call. You heard the and one all the way through our headphones. Reverse layup, pretty move there. As Marcus Hunt scores again.
That's the second time he does it. Such a difficult shot, Greg, to be able to go to the opposite side of the rim and still reverse it in with the flip. Beautiful looking shot.
Three on the way from Bilardo, and that is good. The All-Star strikes from downtown. Biggest lead of the game for Guaynabo is 35 points. Amigo, the one-hand rebound. Here's Bilardo once again into the lane. Pulls up from 12 feet right side. Shot rolls off. Kick out to Balkman. Balkman holding. 10 to shoot. Oh, and the nice feed to the cutting Melson Basabe. Beg your pardon, that was Ben Moore, and he goes up and jams it home with two hands, and Moore's got two more. That gives him 20. Three on the way.
Vinales. What a great point guard he is, Greg. He just had the ability to see the floor, get to where he wants, super quick. This is a very good point guard right here.
We're going to see another good point guard tomorrow night, the legendary J.J. Barea. Balkman loses the handle, gets it back, and yeah, Rolón did not catch that nice pass cleanly, and he gets called for the travel.
If Colón was at practice, you know, this would definitely let it go. But as we see there, a beautiful pass by Kyle Vinales and a beautiful dunk. But referees here did say the extra step and say, hold on a second, sir. You cannot take three in basketball. We're going the other way.
So here's swing. Tried to get it inside to Amigo. The pass was tipped out and now finally controlled by Guaynabo. Shot missed. Rebound, Timaj Parker-Rivera. Here comes Gabby back the other way. Over to swing, up off the glass. No good. Rebound tipped by Amigo. No. And now Vinales gives it up. Ben Moore can't get it to go, but then gets the tip in. Biggest lead of the game,
Guaynabo
36
Mets.
points.
Greg, you know, even though they're sitting at 7-10 right now, their record might lie to what their roster is. We've seen some really skilled basketball players. You know, Moore is putting on a show. You can see the ability to run the floor, and Kyle with a beautiful assist to him. So, Guaynabo, this is a team to watch as the season keeps rolling along.
Yeah, they've definitely got some pieces in place. They've also got Zach Hankins, who we haven't seen tonight. He did not play their last game either, the 6'11" center, averaging 13.5 points and 6.2 rebounds per game. So that's another piece to their puzzle that we haven't even seen tonight. Balkman thought about the three, shoots it up over Amigo, no good. Rebound Bilardo. Bilardo into the paint, throws up the shot and draws the foul. Did not quite see who that was on. Looks like it was going to be on Ronaldo Balkman.
Yeah, Balkman, you know, that hustler inside, always challenging the play, but that time just reached too much. And you're right, Greg. You know, Guaynabo there, we've seen here the versatility. We've seen here the athleticism. We have seen the speed. We've seen the ability to shoot the ball, to also attack the rim and finish above the rim. So a really good team that is showing us all their weapons here tonight.
And we've seen a lot of Ronaldo Balkman over the years. Initially drafted, of course, by the Knicks, but we've seen him in FIBA Americas play. Most recently, BCL Americas for Real Esteli, and Mr. Balkman scores again.
Yeah, Balkman is one of those guys that, you know, has always been there for the Puerto Rican national team. Has never denied. The man has played in all kinds of competition for the ones that are super important to the ones that, you know, might be not as, but, you know, always put on the jersey, always played hard, got a lot of respect. A lot of people respect him in the league because of that. You know, he's always ready to play, and definitely we have seen him at the club level and in the national team level. So a great veteran basketball player, Mr. Balkman is.
Nice pass from Daniel Amigo to Timaj Parker Rivera. He gets fouled by Balkman, and yeah. Timaj Parker Rivera misses wide right.
His windup was leaning to his left a little bit, so he's shooting the ball at an angle rather than having it straight, and it ended up going completely off to his right. So let's see here if he can get his body bounced a little bit. You see, he's got a left side windup. He's more towards the left than the middle of the free throw line. So something that perhaps that he can study and improve on.
Timaj Parker Rivera misses both free throws. Came into this game a 59% free throw shooter on the season. Over to Vinales, 5 to shoot. Vinales on the drive. His shot won't go, but the offensive rebound and the putback. Ronaldo Balkman, and he's chirping. I can't tell if he was talking to his bench or some fans behind his bench.
He's talking to everybody, telling everybody, I've done this for many years, fellas. Don't you know me?
Stolen away from Amigo. And now stolen away at the other end by Luis Rivera, out of bounds. Ball will be to Guaynabo.
Good job by Rivera getting back, not allowing Moore to go up with that strong. Beautiful job. Almost got it deflected to be off the leg of Moore. So that's what you want. Show the heart, get back, play hard, you know, and keep going until the buzzer is done. See right there. Don't give up on the play. The young people out there. Don't watching this game, don't matter what the score is, you go hard all the time.
So here's swing, the scoop right hand layup, no. Timaj Parker Rivera saved it. Now into the corner, Gabby for 3. No. Timaj Parker Rivera, another rebound, put back and up and in. Instant energy. Timaj Parker Rivera, the offensive rebound, 2 offensive rebounds on that possession, and ultimately ends up with the points.
Yeah, instant energy indeed, Greg, and we have seen his growth throughout the season. You know, obviously now even having a bigger role with the team because of that. You know, a guy that just brings it in on both ends of the floor, is going to play hard-nosed defense, is going to fight for the offensive rebound, also got his skills. So we have seen him do that and grow into this role as Humacao really needs it at this point and going further.
Humacao foul on Jordan's swing. I thought perhaps Marcus Hunt might have stepped on the baseline. But I guess the foul occurred first, and Marcus Hunt scores. He's got 15. Horton over to swing. Now to Parker Rivera. Back up to Jordan swing. He gets bumped into the corner now. Gabby Bilardo. Rivera Ooh, looked like he shuffled the feet. 3 on the way. That's good. Gabby Bilardo scores from long distance again. And Bilardo now with 13.
Practice shot that time. Guaynabo just giving Bilardo all kinds of daylight, and he's going to knock that down 8 out of 10 times.
7 to shoot. Taekwon Rolon driving left side, giving it up inside now to Basabe. Ball blocked out of bounds by Jordan Swing. And Guaynabo could not get anything off, but Humacao turns it over. 3 on the way from Hunt, and that is good.
Yeah, that one does hurt a little bit. He had a 3-on-1 situation, just a quick decision.
Timaj Parker Rivera at the other end goes up for the two-hand stuff. Biggest scoring output by quarter of the game for Grises. They've already got 15 this quarter. Guaynabo, though, with 23. Now Rivera out to Swing. Oh, boy, he makes Marcus Hunt touch earth. And Swing scores. Oh, my. Marcus Hunt's going to hear about that one later.
Yeah, beautiful, just attacking the opposite foot of the defender made him fall off balance. And it's just a beautiful ability, Greg, to avoid the offensive foul going to his left and a nice scoop. So Jordan Swing showing all his bag there for us.
Boy, that was a Victor Mansour in his prime move. Made a defender sit down like that and go in for the easy bucket.
Well, this is the kind of stuff that these guys do. As soon as the ball's coming to you, you already know where the defender's opposite foot is. So that's what he did. He attacked his opposite foot and did make him touch earth, and then the ability to control his body. And I don't think I had any of that hang time, and beautiful finish with the deuce.
Now, you'd have just gone up and dunked it over 3 guys.
Yeah, in my dreams a little bit.
Basabe hits the first free throw and gets the second as well. Lead back to 36. Guaynabo's biggest lead of the game, 38. Rivera to the corner to Horton. Horton fades away from 14. And that jumper is up and in from outside the left elbow.
Yeah, and that's the one that we talked about at halftime, Greg. Just cannot allow a guy to just cruise down the lane like that and pull up from the elbow. That's just too easy at this level.
Horton to Spotsville, now left side. That's good. Nice ball movement on the outside as Luis Rivera scores from long range.
Yeah, we have seen that he can be the X factor at times. So good to see Luis Rivera growing into his role more and more as well.
E.J. Crawford's shot misses, but therefore the putback is Melson Basabe, and he'll go to the free throw line again.
Guaynabo just has looked like the more athletic team, the team with the better bounce, the first step. We have seen this, and Basabe just shows that to us there as well, playing strong inside and trying to go for the three-point play the hard way.
Basabe perfect from the free throw line tonight. Gets that one as well. 28.4 to play in this third quarter. Out three, no good. Rebounded by Orozco.
Don't foul here.
And that's exactly what they did. Did they call it? I thought I saw the official's arm go up.
Yep, I believe so. There's going to be a foul here.
Okay,
it's either a 2 or either a 2 or a 3, Greg. Let's see what they're gonna call, but just too much effort. Ran into the shooter that time.
So the third quarter comes to an end with Humacao trailing big, 83-45. And Early will go to the free throw line, misses the first. Second is good, so he will get one more. And Early nurses the third free throw in, so he hits 2 out of 3. And after 3 quarters of play, it's 85-45. That's the biggest lead of the game for Guaynabo. Through 3 quarters, Guaynabo down big. Let's look at some of the numbers on this one. Gabby Bilardo, 13 points, leading the way for Humacao. We'll look at the rest of the numbers in just one moment. This is Humacao basketball. We are back with fourth quarter action right after this.
Se puede con un préstamo personal de la Cooperativa Oriental. Ponte al día con tus metas financieras con un cómodo pago mensual que tienes hasta 90 días para hacer el primer pago. Llama al 787-418-2021. Cooperativa de Ahorro y Crédito Oriental, la alternativa de todo un pueblo.
Humacao trails by 40 as we start the fourth quarter. Gabby Bilardo with 13 points to lead Humacao. Timaj Parker Rivera has 8. Bilardo also with 5 rebounds. Timaj Parker Rivera has 6. For Guaynabo, Ben Moore has 22 points. Marcus Hunt 15. Ronaldo Balkman 13. Taekwon Rolon has 10. Kyle Vinales has 8. Nelson Basabe 7. William Orozco 6. And Jeff Early has 4.
And you know, Craig, at this point in the game, as I see there, my good friend Vasquez, the one holding the ball there in the baseline, had a couple of chats with him back at FIBA. But what happens is now you're down big here in the fourth. So you definitely want to start putting the rotation. Get the opportunity for the guys that haven't had the chance to play as much this season. Give them this very valuable last 9-10 minutes here so they can start growing as a basketball player, knowing that you have an important back-to-back game here tonight or tomorrow, and you can be right back at it.
And sometimes you might be surprised. Some of these guys who don't see a lot of time, maybe they'll have that spark for you and make it interesting down the stretch. On the floor now for Humacao, it's Darian Spotsville Melvin Millet, Luis Rivera, Alexander Capos, and Luis Colon. Here's Rivera. Left-hand scoop, that'll go. On the floor for Guaynabo, E.J. Crawford. Martinez, Orozco, Early, and Basabe. We were not given the name of number 7 for Guaynabo prior to the game. He was not on the team website. We know his last name is Martinez. His first initial is W, but that's the only thing we know.
Yeah, Craig, and just to emphasize your point, once you get a couple of guys who haven't played much in the court here, what also happens is, for example, for a guy like Luisito Rivera, number 10 right there, it kind of automatically puts him in a position to be the leader, to be that guy, that's trying to get his team going here. So not only you give guys the opportunity to play, but you also put them in a position to grow as a basketball player.
Count the bucket for Basabe. He'll go to the free throw line to try to complete the three-point play. And the lead now 41. 90 points through 31 minutes and 6 seconds for Guaynabo. That's pretty impressive. Those are NBA numbers.
Yeah, and the hats off to Guaynabo. They have shown that they can really play. They got plenty of guys that can put the ball on the hoop. And even though, obviously, Humacao could have done a better job, you also know that Guaynabo, shooting at 60%. I mean, they know exactly what they're doing. So this is a pretty good team, and a 7-10 record does not reflect that.
That was Gara. Kylan Gara. So Gara seeing some action. And now a 3 up and good.
So there you have it, Craig. Nice execution. It was a high screen there to try to avoid the full court press that played into a 5-on-4 and allowed the three-point shot. So there you go. Great, good habits that, are going to keep getting yourself better, your team better, and hopefully end this game here on a high note.
Basabe misses. Capos the rebound. Now Capos down to Colon. Back up top to Rivera. Long three-pointer short. And if you're Humacao, you don't want to just try to keep jacking up threes. You want to try to run some offense, get at least a little bit of a flow with your second, third unit. And now the feed inside to Colon, off the square and in. Beautiful feed. Little drive and dish from Rivera to Luis Colon. Playing in just his 6th game of the season at 35 years old.
Yes, indeed, Greg. And flow is exactly what you try to go for right now. Haven't had none going all night. Hopefully you can have here in the last 7 minutes.
Alonso Ortiz thought he missed that shot, so he trailed it, but it was straight through.
It's funky. A lot of the times the shooter, as soon as the ball goes out, they might think it's a bit short, so they follow their shots. But he just had enough legs to push that ball through.
Luis Rivera had his shot blocked, but a foul committed. I believe that was on Kylan Gara. So Luis Rivera to the free throw line. He's a 79% free throw shooter on the season, averaging 7.5 points per contest. Strokes the first one.
And we have seen great spark from this young man as of recent, just the ability to put up numbers quick. Like you said, he's still learning a lot of his reads. What are the times that he should be the aggressor, take the shot? What are the times that he's got to slow the game down as a point guard, get his team into a set, into a rhythm? So he's going to pick that up as he plays more and more games and get some mileage in.
94-56, 6:50 to play. Once again, Humacao with a back-to-back. Right back here tomorrow night against Santurce. Those two teams played on Sunday. Santurce won 94-86 at Santurce. Humacao played only 9 players in that game. Pedro Gonzalez going 12 deep in this one in the blowout. So Rivera back to the free throw line.
Yeah, and if he can keep getting, Craig, you can see that he is a guy that can score. So he's a score-first point guard, So if he can get this reads, his notion of, all right, this is my time, or this is the time to get my guys involved, he can be a heck of a basketball player.
And he's a guy who, with George Matos, must be nursing an injury. He did not play the last game against Santurce, has not played tonight. So with Matos laid up, we may see a lot more of Luis Rivera spelling Gabby Bilardo. This would be a nice opportunity for him as Melvin Millett misses.
Yeah, and with a lot of games compacted in the season, guys got to be ready. Well, your numbers are going to be called. Coaches are going to rely on you in certain moments of the season. Be ready to play either 1 minute, 10 minute, 25 minute, whatever it is, but be ready to go once you get that opportunity.
Capos misses the three-pointer. And an offensive foul. That's going to be on E.J. Crawford. You get a look at Luis
Great
Colon.
Job. Yeah, great job setting himself up. I mean, it does take a big hit, to knock down a big guy like that, but great job putting his body out there and draw the foul.
Pull-up jumper from the free throw line short by Millett. Rivera playing tight defense on Gara. Now Basabe. Through the lane, that's E.J. Crawford. He's going to go to the free throw line. E.J. Crawford's listed at 6'6", 210. He looks a little thicker than 210 to me, Victor.
Yeah, I have seen left and right, man. Guys sometimes, put a little bit more height to what they actually have, or guys, change their weight a little bit. They just want to look good in that roster, in that game program. I have seen it happen so many times. You hire a guy and he might be 6'10". The moment he gets off the floor, off the airplane, he might be 6'8". So this is old business, my friend.
I tried to get my coaches to do that in high school for the football program because I wanted to go to Notre Dame to play football, but they weren't having it. They listed me at my true height. Short jumper on the baseline is good. Another bucket for Melson Basabe. Basabe having himself a nice game. He's got 14. Now into the corner for Capos. And now Millett on the drive. Up with the left hand, and that falls in.
Beautiful job, going into that pro hop, that two-legged step. That's such an important step to learn, because once you hop with the two legs, you have strong balance to go up and be able to finish that with the offhand.
Kind of looking a little like street ball now. Basabe going around the defender and laying it in. Almost looks like an all-star game.
Yeah, and this is where the habits that we spoke about. You know, I know that this game is done. It's a done deal. It's a 40-point game with 3.5 to go. But still, you do want to create good habits. This is all about. You spend a lot of time working on individual skills, a lot of time watching your film. So forget about the scoreboard right now. Play to your best abilities. And that means, you know, staying focused and staying with the game plan.
Prior to this, the biggest loss of the season for Humacao was 19 points. That was on May 16th against Ponce. They lost 99-80. That was in that stretch where they were coming back from playing, or rather not playing, and they were trying to fit in some games. Guys still recovering from that bacterial infection. They lost that one by 19, and now all of a sudden it seems like, you know, they're really struggling to find an identity.
Yeah, we saw it from the start, right? Right in the beginning of the game, right away, Guaynabo was able to jump into a very early lead that had Coach Pedro Gonzalez call back-to-back timeouts already in the first quarter. So this was a tough matchup for them. Once again, you know, you don't want to dwell on it too much, don't want to think about it too much, but rather, as soon as this is done, get a good night's sleep, come in tomorrow into your shoot around, into your morning practice, go through that. Even though they have an early game tomorrow, you know, at 6 o'clock, it's one of those things that, you know, you're just happy to get right back to it and be able to, you know, hopefully come out with a win.
Three from the corner was up and good for Melvin Millett. That's his first three-pointer on the season. Came into the game 0 for 6 from three-point range. And Luis Colon tumbles to the floor again. Another offensive foul. This one against the mysterious Mr. Martinez.
Yeah, for the young ones out there, Craig, you know, we talk about rotation. That's what a rotation is right there. This ball penetration, step into it and take the charge. The second one he's done. So when we talk about good reads and good fundamentals, that is it right there.
And a steal by Millett and the easy lay-in. Millett came into this one averaging less than 1 point per game. He's got 5 now. Pretty feed and the nice scoop by Melson Basabe as we reach the 140 mark to play in this game. Humacao trailing 102-68. There you get a look at Darian Spotsville, the 23-year-old from Eastern Michigan University. As a senior for Eastern Michigan, averaged 6.6 points, 4.8 rebounds in 31 games. Now Capos, nice move, just came up a little bit short. And the reach-in foul. Capos is another one of those younger players at 24 years old, 6'10", but just 195 pounds. He seems like a guy who, if you bulk him up a little bit, he's a good shooter.
Yep,
and
good
he gets
shooter,
a little bit
got
more
the
experience,
height.
a little work on the footwork. He might be a guy who can contribute some significant minutes for you.
Yeah, especially because he plays such a key position in the game at that 4 spot. You know, once they run pick and rolls, if they trap the guard and they just dump it off to him, and he has that ability to shoot or, you know, distribute the ball, that's going to open a lot of opportunities for Humacao. So this is a guy that you want to keep working on, and hopefully, you know, things turn out for him and for Humacao as a couple of years to come.
Rivera with the alley-oop to Alexander Capos. 105-70.
Yeah, when you have a 4-man,
3 seconds to play.
that can shoot, Craig, that just opens all kinds of opportunities. You know, so good, bright future this young man has.
Oh, there's that reverse layup. Darian Spotsville scoring. And this one is going to end with Guaynabo on top by 35, 107-72. Worst loss of the season for Humacao. They fall to 5-10. While Guaynabo raises their record to 8-10. Guaynabo certainly looks a lot better than their 8-10 record, and we know Humacao is much better than their 5-10 record. They've had some personnel turnover here the last couple of weeks, and I think this is a team right now that's, as we said a couple times, just struggling for an identity. Aside from Timaj Parker Rivera and Georgie Pacheco-Ortiz, Jordan Swing, and of course Gabby Bilardo, this is a team that's really kind of looking for who's going to do what.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the how can you say that, the tough times of the season. You know, guys in and out of the lineup with injuries, they're banged up. You're playing some tough teams. You're running out of legs. How do you have that identity? Your go-to guys, the ones that, you know, that can get you a bucket when you need it. Your defensive stoppers. So definitely something that they need to work on, you know. But the best thing out of this ugly loss tonight is, hey, get yourself a good night of sleep and come back right at it tomorrow right here and hopefully have a different result. And you can keep on pushing forward that, because it is a critical part of the season, playing so many home games right now, having this home stretch. You want to build up the wins and not have to, you know, go uphill with so many losses going forward. So you want to take care of business at home, especially what they were doing in the beginning of the season, Greg. So, you know, tough one. However, hey, tomorrow a new start, 0-0 tomorrow, go from there and hopefully do things better, especially on the defensive end. Giving up so many points tonight. I mean, you're not going to win a basketball game giving up 107 points in just 40 minutes. So definitely got to work on that. We see there the disparity on the rebounds and the assists. So a lot of things they can work on. And when are they going to work on? Right back here tomorrow.
We talked about Humacao trying to win the second half. They didn't win the second half, but they did win the fourth quarter, 27-22. As we look at some of the highlights on this one, let's go over some of the numbers. Georgie Pacheco-Ortiz, 6 points. The newcomer Ken Horton with 4. Jordan Swing, just 6 points on 3 of 9 shooting. Gabby Bilardo, 13 points, 4 of 10 shooting. Daniel Amigo, 3 points. Darian Spotsville had 5. Melvin Millett, 7. Luis Rivera, 13. Alexander Capos, 5. Timaj Parker Rivera had 8. And Luis Colon had 2. Gabby Bilardo added 5 rebounds. And Luis Rivera had 6 assists. For Guaynabo, Kyle Vinales, 8 points. Taekwon Rolon had 10. Marcus Hunt had 15. Ben Moore had 22 after scoring 18 in the first half. He might have had that in the first quarter, as I recall. He had a monster first quarter. Ronaldo Balkman had 13. Kylan Gara had 3. EJ Crawford 2. Martinez 4. Ortiz had 2. Orozco 6. Early 4. And Nelson Basabe finished with 18. Once again, we are right back here tomorrow as Humacao will take on Cangrejeros de Santurce in one of the makeup games from when the team was out with the bacterial infection. We hope you join us for that one. For my partner, Victor Mansoure, I'm Craig Fado. Once again, the final score, 107-72. Guaynabo defeats Humacao, and we will see you again tomorrow night from Coliseo Marcelo Trujillo Panisse.
Ahora se puede con un préstamo personal de la Cooperativa Oriental. Ponte al día con tus metas financieras con un cómodo pago mensual que tienes hasta 90 días para hacer el primer pago. Llama al 787-418-2021. Cooperativa de Ahorro y Crédito Oriental, la alternativa de todo un pueblo.